Oh goody, Frogger on Intellivision. Oh man, am I so looking forward to this. Ay. This is Frogger, released in 1983 for Intellivision from Parker Brothers. Also available for other platforms of the day such as Atari 2600 and ColecoVision, which we actually sampled last year, and this was going to be next on the list before my Intellivision 2 went kaput. I did eventually get another one, it works. And then we got this Sprint thing, and we're playing it on that via sideload, which is what we're looking at right now, I guess. Anyway, as I got to play Frogger on Intellivision, and that's the good news, I'm afraid. The bad news is that it's Frogger on Intellivision, which means trying to play the game on these dreadful controllers, which goes about as well as you would expect it to, not great. However, I will try to avoid beating on that dead horse more than necessary, even if it is the only real sticking point of this particular conversion of Frogger, in that control can be somewhat sticky at times, which makes the game much harder than necessary. But let's backtrack a bit. For those unfamiliar with Frogger, it's a game where you guide a little frog thing across a street and subsequent river and get it to one of the 5 water holes above, making sure to land square in the middle because there's virtually no wiggle room. If you're off by even a smidge, dead. But if you manage, congrats! 1 down, 4 more to go, and once all 5 water holes are filled with froggies, it's on to the next round. And with each subsequent round, you have to contend with gators, snakes, and different patterns of cars, logs, and turtle movement. Naturally, getting run over kills you. And also falling into the water kills you because Frogger can't swim apparently. And of course, running out of time also kills you because you're on a time limit, and time limits are bad. For you, that is. Frogger can be played with 1 or 2 players alternating, and you could choose to start from any of the first 4 screens, which is novel, I suppose. If only there were an option to swap out the stock disc controller for a proper one so that the game would play better. I mean, really, the controller is this version's only real sticking point because the gameplay, at the very least, is on point, fairly faithful to the arcade original, and plays out as you'd expect it to. That said, it's not completely unsalvageable. Eventually you start to get a feel for this thing, you eventually do get better. Frogger becomes more bearable, if not playable. It's not a total lost cause, and that's a good thing because we need fewer lost causes around these parts especially. Graphically speaking, Frogger isn't the prettiest looking game. Certainly looks the part, but the graphics are blockier, the sprites are more solid, monotone affairs. It only looks slightly better than the 2600 version, but not by much. Hell of a lot brighter if nothing else. Sound doesn't fare much better either. You've got the jingle, somewhat, but the sound effects are just awful. Ear-grating, painful to endure. Best keep the volume down on this one, kids. Overall, the best you could say about Frogger on Intellivision is that it's not terrible. In fact, if you could put up with the beaten dead horse that is the Intellivision controller, you'll find a perfectly playable version of Frogger that is tolerable to a point. It doesn't look great, it sounds worse, but at least the gameplay holds up, and that's the key thing here. Not the most ideal take on Frogger out there, but not the worst either.